government officials insist that this...
That BNC Live has been following from the beginning. A father continues his mission to find out what happened to his son.
Daniel Robinson vanished in the Buckeye Desert.
Daniel Robinson went missing in the Buckeye Desert.
Urgent plea from a father who has scoured the vast Arizona desert himself.
4-year-old Daniel Robinson, and this is a very, very odd mystery.
Daniel Robinson disappeared on June 23rd in the far West Valley.
His parents, David and Melissa, need our help.
I'm David Robinson, the father of geologist Daniel Cornelius Robinson.
His name, Daniel Robinson. And leading the search, not law enforcement, but Daniel's father, David.
God knows how much we can bear, you know, and at times I feel like I can't really take but so much.
Where is Daniel Robinson?
And identify they were human leg bones.
But you know what? It's still urgent to me as a father because, you know, we found human remains out here.
David Robinson had only one thought on his mind as he drove the nearly 1,800 miles from his South Carolina home to Phoenix.
I had to find my son. I also want to thank the volunteers that come out here every weekend, volunteering their time. And, you know, without these special people behind me, I wouldn't have a search.
How does a young man vanish off the face of the earth? How does that happen? No record, no sightings, nothing. He's just gone. And when I say a young man, I'm talking about 25-year-old Daniel Robinson. He is the apple of his parents' eye. A young geologist, music lover, good looking, great grades, the works. So why can't we find Daniel? I'm Nancy Grace. This is Crime Stories. And his dad, David Robinson, is using the GoFundMe money to fund his own investigation and the desperate search for his boy, his son, Daniel Robinson, 25 years old. What happened to him? How did he just disappear? David Robinson, sir, thank you so much for being with us. Tell me, when you first realized your son just hadn't called in a couple of days, that he was truly missing.
Yes, my son, on the 23rd, I did get a call from my daughter. She also lives out in Phoenix. And at times I feel like I can't really take but so much more.
But in his weakest times, David says it's the volunteers that provide him strength.
You know, everybody know that I call them my extended family. And so this video is the same thing. We all here have one common goal, and that's to find Daniel and also to bring light what happened to other families.
As the Robinsons' extended family light candles tonight, their collective light shines towards that day when their question is answered and Daniel comes home. Josh Sanders, 12 News.
When the lights and camera turn off, I will be here. When the interest and conversation fade, I will be here. When there's no one around, a father will do anything it takes to be there for his son, to protect his family. Without these special people behind me, I wouldn't have a search. Hello, everyone. Dave Robinson here. I'm the father of geologist Daniel Cornelius Robinson here tonight to make this really quick. I just wanted to first of all, thank everybody for being a part of everything I have been doing to fight for my son, everything I have been doing to look for his justice. Thank you for the support. Just while I'm playing the preview, I was looking at some of you from the Instagram side, all your prayers and the support, the love. It really is really important to me. I see Raider. Mama Bear, thank you so much. I really appreciate your comments on there as well. You're living out there in Buckeye, Arizona, the city area of where my son went missing but he went missing out in the Sonora Desert, part of that Buckeye city area. But just wanted to say, thank you so much for being here and supporting, as well as those who are on Twitter and Facebook and YouTube joining in. So thank you so much for just coming in this evening. Like I said, I'm not going to stay long, but I just wanted to let everybody know I'm continuing my fight for my son. He need the justice. He need the justice that he need. I'm his voice, being that he won't not be able to talk for himself right now, but we're going to make sure that we give that voice out there. So I really, really want to reiterate again, everything I'm doing is always focus on my efforts to find my son. For instance, you see back here behind me, David Robinson for Congress. That came from my efforts to find my son. My advocacy for all the 600,000 Americans that go missing every year came from my efforts to find my son. So again, everything I'm doing is always surrounded by finding geologist Daniel Robinson, my son. Daniel grew up South Carolina, a South Carolina native, graduated from the College of Charleston in South Carolina. Many of you know he graduated with honors to take his career, his whole livelihood, everything that he wanted to do, his first start in life, took that out there to Phoenix, Arizona, where he landed his first job in life with a company called Matrix New World. Southwest Groundwater is another name for it. It's an engineering company. Hired him on as a field geologist, also called a hydrogeologist. His jobs entails him going out into various areas of the desert, well sites, you name it, where there is groundwater. His job is to determine if those waters can produce enough water to sustain the community. Because Arizona is a desert state; they rely heavily on groundwater, heavily reliable on the Colorado River as well. So his job is very important for that state. He's been there for a few years. I think it was like 3 or 4 years before he ended up going missing on June the 23rd of 2021. Since then, after knowing that law enforcement wasn't going to take it serious at the beginning, it caused me to drive over 2,000 miles to go search for my son, do it myself. With that in mind, I was determined that I was going to find my son that same day. When I got to Phoenix, Arizona, turned out to be 3 years now. My son is still missing. But my efforts did not stop when I made it to Phoenix. I started my own investigation, worked with law enforcement to get them all the information they needed, and also recruited hundreds of volunteers to help me from a grassroots standpoint, help me go out and search for my son. Started off a rescue mission, then turned out to be a recovery mission, but that lasted for 49 weeks, covered 35,000 acre land. Was able to recover other human remains out there, bringing closures for other families. So, of course, again, the efforts to being out there without the help of law enforcement, without any resources from law enforcement, we was able to do those tasks out there in the desert with hundreds of, like I say, people just like yourself out there in that desert with me, spending time with the person they don't know, looking out for American scientists that they don't know. And a lot of them had missing loved ones of their own, but they took the opportunity to come out there to help me in that desert. So again, my run for office, my efforts outside of looking for my son, the advocacy for missing Americans came from all of that, working out there in the desert tirelessly, working out in the cities, going to homeless shelters, to the whole population out in Phoenix and in Buckeye, giving out flyers, you name it, with the flyer distribution. So all that work translated into advocacy for all missing Americans, and I'm still continuing to do so. So I've come tonight real quick because I'm not going to stay alone. I just wanted to come on real quick and ask you all to please don't think that because I'm spending a lot of time running this campaign to kind of pull me away from a lot of YouTube times and really making these content and things like that, that I'm not searching for my son. I'm not still advocating for him, because I am. I need you guys help me step in that gap a little bit and help me continue my efforts to find Daniel. He's a very, very special young man to our family. We want those answers that we're looking for. And the way we get those, if we got to keep pushing and pushing, law enforcement can do more. There's a lot of leads that's out there that I gave to law enforcement, and still here it is, all 2 years later, still trying to force law enforcement to do simple, basic forensics and things like that, and take serious these the information I have given to them. So again, working very hard, and the only way I can do that is continue to ask you all to support my efforts to find my son. And I'm going to show you real quick, and that's why I say I want to make this quick for those who are watching. Definitely want you to go to YouTube, to the Please Help Find Daniel website. I'm going to share a screen with you here. Please Help Find Daniel website is where you go to help. PleaseHelpFindDaniel.com. And on the homepage, of course, there's 3 places I want you guys to look at tonight, and that is the request flyers. This is free to you for those who request these. It's free to you, and if you can request those, and we will send them flyers out to you. I need flyers in every city, in every community, every town. I need these flyers out there. And people ask all the time, why do you, Mr. Robinson, need these flyers out there? Again, it is to bring awareness to my son's case. That help with resources for one thing. The other part is, if there is someone that has any knowledge of what happened to my son, and I just got a tip the other day, I'm telling you guys, I'm really happy about. I'm going to follow up on that tomorrow. I did have received a tip and I will talk about that whenever I get the opportunity. But that's where tips come from. You guys send out the flyer. I've sent out the flyers to you. You got to put them in your neighborhood, because, like I said, there could have been someone that just happened to pass by in 2021, June 23rd of 2021, had passed by that Sonoran Desert out there on Sun Valley Parkway, and they was headed to the airport, or they was in a U-Haul truck, or whatever the case may be, and they left town, left Arizona to move in. I'm using these same names all the time: Catskill, New York, or Little Whiskey, Georgia, or somewhere else, some little small town somewhere, and and they live in your neighborhood. But when you get those flyers, you put them out there, and they jog somebody's memory, and then they can reach out. They can use that tip line they see on that flyer, and call, and that all it takes, things like that, where I can get this case solved. Also, it helps with being, if you guys know the case, and I'm not going to go through it tonight. Like I said, I'm going to get off really quick here, but I would love to go through the whole scenario of what exactly happened, the information that we know so far about Daniel. But, knowing that foul play happened, but not knowing exactly what that foul play actually means. If he's out there human trafficking or anything in some other state somewhere, and these flyers somehow make it to those populations, somebody happen to see something and say, oh, I've seen this guy somewhere, or if he himself see that, he'll know what I'm looking for him. So those type things. So it's really important. Like I said, we're also with the resources, but these are free to you if you sign up here for those flyers, and get them out. Help me continue to get them out there. Again, I'm running for Congress, and I'm doing a whole lot, and still being able to get some flyers out, but not as much as I could without your guys' help. So please request those flyers. Again, they're free to you. But if you want to help with resources, because flyers to print them out do cost money, I can tell you that, hey, you're doing it this way. You also let me go back real quick to that screen. That button here is print the flyers yourself. If you can, definitely print them out yourself. They help with resources. That's a form of donation. So I really appreciate it, because I know it costs money to print these out. But that is the PDF for it. If you guys want to print them out yourself and help with the resources, that help as well. Again, if you want to request those flyers here with the request flyers tab, that is free to you. And then lastly, on this, if you guys come down the first screen, so you come on PleaseHelpFindDaniel.com. I'm going to go through this kind of quickly tonight, but if you guys go to the front page here, you scroll down a little bit here, and you will see, please download these PDFs for your mail-in protest. Mail-in protest, I began that at some time when I was trying to get, I'm still continue trying to get Daniel's case moved from the Buckeye Police Department over to the Maricopa County Sheriff's Office in Phoenix, Arizona. And I have some difficulties. It was then Sheriff Penzone was the sheriff at the time. He gave me some promises and things that he would try to do, and he didn't live up to but one, and that was to do a search out there for my son, which later it was actually a shade for the Buckeye Police Department to, give them appearance in the public that he was doing something. But nevertheless, he did do that part of actually getting that search out there that I requested. It was two things. And the other part is to get Daniel's case moved over to the Maricopa County Sheriff's Office. That promise wasn't made. He quit before anything, and I have a new sheriff there now who's resistant on literally even talking to me. He gave me a generic letter. He's not a very, in my opinion, he's not a good sheriff, but that's my opinion. And not just because of not being able to talk to me for Daniel, but that attitude when you're not talking to a family and you send them a generic letter, that says a lot about your character and who you are as a person. So I want to say, please help find Daniel. Come down here, and if you can, please, by all means, please do this mail-in protest. It's something, like I said, I made for for those because I was planning to do a protest. That deal I saying that I made with Sheriff Zone came from this mail-in protest. It came from the actual physical protest that I was setting up. He heard that I was getting ready to hold a protest in front of the Maricopa County Sheriff's Office. I may still do that this fall. In front of that office, have a sit-in actually at the Maricopa County Sheriff's Office, and have a second protest done at the Buckeye Police Department. And he heard about it in the air, and he called me up, and that's when he told me, hey, he can do these two things. Just hold out on that protest, right? And I did that. Make a long story, this mail-in protest came because a lot of people said they wanted to join in on that protest, that physical protest. I came up with a mail-in protest to help everybody who cannot come out in Arizona, who could not come to Phoenix, who could not come to join in on that physical protest, but they can join in on a mail-in protest. It's the same thing. You're just not there in person. You're mailing out these picket signs. I call these picket signs what they are. These picket signs that they look just like this. For instance, you print out, again, it's another form of donating. You print them out, stuff them in the envelope, and send them out to the address I'm about to provide to you soon, next. One, for instance, like this one says, if Daniel was a cop, what would justice do? We demand the same treatment in Daniel if Daniel was your own. And this is to the police departments. We demand a criminal investigation into the disappearance of geologist Daniel Cornelius Robinson. What do we want? Justice. When do we want it? Want it now. Again, these are the picket signs that, when you print them out, exactly what they would look like going into these departments. Again, so the PDFs are here. You come on the front page, you'll see the 5 here. These 5 are these here up here. But what I'm trying to get you to do, if you can, I'm trying to get thousands of them sent to these departments every week, because what it does, and I'm going to say this real quick, what that does is when you guys send them in, as much as you can, get people to send them in, I don't care if it's hundreds to thousands of them, it keep their mind, look, nobody's walking away from Daniel Robinson's case. Nobody's walking away from searching for Daniel. The interest of the public and interest of his family is still there. We still have to fight and find these answers. We will have to eventually do these forensics that the fathers have been asking for the last over almost 3 years now. And so those things will be done. Those things will be done. So again, this mail-in protest is for everybody to be able to join in. Please help find Daniel.com. Go to the main page, scroll down, and this is the address. Please mail your PDFs to the address below. Send as many as you can every week. Some can do more. There's another form of donation, because when you're doing that, of course, it costs money to put stamps, print out, and send these envelopes out. Buckeye Police Department, Chief Robert Sanders is his name. He's the chief of police of the Buckeye Police Department. He used to be Chief Hall. He's magically at the same time with Sheriff Zone retired. So the Chief Robert Sanders, 21699 West Yuma Road in Buckeye, Arizona. And also you're sending it to the Maricopa County Sheriff's Office with Sheriff Russ Skinner, who, 550 West Jackson Street. That's in Phoenix, Arizona, 85003. So I need thousands of these letters sent out every week to avoid a cold case status, because you know what? Like I said, again, despite of the fact that I gave law enforcement all this evidence that they need to process, all this forensics they need to process. The clothing that came from the scene that my family is saying is not Daniel's clothes, but they are forcing that on us, saying it is his clothing without even testing the clothing. They had made a full report about my son's vehicle without even seeing the vehicle. This person they hired haven't even physically touched Daniel's vehicle, but made a full report. So again, we want proper things done. Again, just like that one flyer stands out and it says, "What would justice do?" We demand the same treatment if Daniel was one of your own. And we're talking to the police department. You know it for a fact, you guys, if that was a law enforcement officer vehicle found just like this right here. I'm gonna pull this picket sign up. Found right here on the side, lying on the side right here. There's a police cruiser with the uniform and everything from his underwear down to sock lying there on the ground. They would not be saying the same thing. They're telling my family, "Oh, we don't see any foul play here. Oh, we ain't not gonna do any forensics work on the scene. Oh, no, there's nothing to see here. Here's all his items. He must have ran off and got ate by an animal like they told me, or he joined a monastery, becoming a monk." They would not say that to about one of their own. So we demand the same treatment as if Daniel is one of their own. Matter of fact, their son, Chief Hall at the time, or any Chief Sanders and Sheriff Skinner, their children and their family members is not more valuable than mine. Those police departments are not more valuable than mine. So again, we want to make sure that we are treating everybody equally, and that same mentality that we see a lot of times with these cases like this is the reason why we have over 600,000 Americans missing without having information about their whereabouts every year. So again, I need your support. Need to get those thousands of these PDFs there. Again, if you guys can request those flyers, and we definitely can get them out to you, as well as you can print the flyers yourself, and that is a form of donation as well. But those, again, I just want to get on real quick and say that, and thank you so much, everybody, for joining in. I'm David Robinson, again, the father of geologist Daniel Cornelius Robinson. I am not stopping my efforts to find my son. Again, this whole congressional run to me advocating for missing Americans, to me fighting for my son and continue to do so. It came because of my son went missing. So again, being a retired military guy, I'm retired. And, it could have been easy to, deal with the things of war and just stay retired. But you know what? God have a reason for everything. He can take tragedy like he did in our family's situation and bring some triumph and bring some great things. And this congressional run is one of them, because I have legislation I want to get passed to make it easy for law enforcement, make it easier for families to get the data and things they need to make sure that we can solve some of these issues when it comes to missing Americans. South Carolina. This was way back in March. We had 170 people missing in March. And you can imagine what that number is now. They don't go down, it goes up. We have 3,000 people go missing every day in this country, 2,000 of which are kids, that go missing every day in this country. So, I mean, it's a crisis that we don't talk about. And I need you guys to help me to continue my efforts with that. Okay, so again, thanks so much, everyone, for being a part of, everything, the grassroots of search for Daniel. Please help find Daniel. And, can continue to do this. Again, I'll see you on the next live that I do. And I really appreciate your time. God bless you. And we'll talk the next time. And take care.